I'm Anthony Forrest, the president of Steel Cod, and I'm here with John Beresford, our VP of Sales, ready to discuss all things appliances. All right, John, I need to talk about the GE No Preheat Air Fry. Other than it being a mouthful, here's my situation here. Air fry is now kind of everywhere. Almost every brand offers it now. It's pretty ubiquitous. And so the floors become a little numb to it. That said, GE is really leaning into the no preheat air fry. Faster, easier, skip the wait. Sounds good, right? But something went wrong. If customers really want this speed, why didn't that feature stick?
Yeah, really, and the problem isn't the air fry, right? The problem was really the kind of promise that came behind the preheat, right? No preheat sounds like a win until you understand what it's actually asking the oven to do, right? GE wasn't wrong to add air fry here. Everybody does it, like you said, but they failed really by framing speed as the primary value with it without defining the trade-offs that something like that can create.
Yeah, but that said, but no preheat is a nice straightforward thing. Salespeople looking for that straightforward thing to land on. Sounds great. Skip the wait, start cooking. Isn't that exactly what customers want?
Well, they do, but only if the outcome stays the same, right? And that's where this whole thing kind of breaks down. Preheating isn't a formality in ovens. It's really how the oven stabilizes temperature before food ever goes in. When you remove that step, you don't eliminate physics here. What you're really doing is compressing it, right? No preheat air fry asks the oven to heat the cavity, heat the food, and brown the surface simultaneously. And look, you can get away with that with certain foods, even with this mode, right? I mean, if you have frozen foods or really thin proteins or even some reheats, it might work, where the surface heat and the airflow do all the heavy lifting for you, but it's going to struggle whenever there's volume or density or anything that needs really consistent heat throughout the entire product. And that's not a flaw here. That's really the cost of skipping a preheat. The problem here is that GE never really owned that trade-off.
Okay, but if we're talking about trade-offs, now, in big neon lights, we see no preheat. And now I'm saying, well, it's no preheat, but I need you to sign on the dotted line admitting that it's not going to work for everything. So we're going to lose the punch of the no preheat if I have to explain no preheat, but.
Yeah, it's a fair question, but I would argue that it only loses punch if you pretend that it's universal, right? No preheat has value, but it should be positioned as a situational advantage, okay? Not a default mode. So the moment that GE left that up for interpretation, they really guaranteed disappointment, right? Again, I say it a million times, customers don't walk away because a feature has limits. The mistake wasn't adding air fry here. The mistake was really letting speed take the wheel of the conversation.
I don't disagree. I think that this is all great, but here's the issue is that, especially for salespeople, is that we've been burned so much in the past by scared to death of overpromise anything that we just don't talk about it. And it's just easier to drop it than explain it. What do you say to that?
You got it. I mean, that's exactly what happens here. And honestly, I mean, we know this. That's the most expensive outcome for a brand, right? When a feature is oversold and underexplained, the sales floor never recalibrates. It completely disengages. It's an afterthought, right? That silence replaces any level of explanation at that point. And once that happens, that feature is going to effectively die. Even if it still works perfectly, as long as it's explained properly. And, GE didn't really lose here because no preheat air fry couldn't deliver speed. They lost here because they never told anybody when speed comes with trade-offs, because it always does. Skipping preheat isn't magic. It's always a trade. And when brands refuse to define that trade, the market does it for them, and it's usually going to be through disappointment.
So ultimately, because, I'd like to bring this back here and I'd like to present this product to customers, is that I just really need to do a better job, laying down the law and what no preheat really means.
Limitations are not a flaw. If you explain the limitations, you can show them where it becomes valuable.
Thanks for listening. We drop a new episode every Monday to Friday. Don't forget to follow us so you never miss an episode wherever you listen to podcasts.